we have a victory to report that we're very excited about because we took quick action and got a good result.
Yeah, that's right.
Congressionally.
Yeah. So I mean, we're the move on Omar.
Yes.
So we've been working on this petition for a long time. So we put together, it's nearly 400,000 people on the petition. And this petition called for, again, the House to take action against Omar Tlaib as well. And because there never was a censure vote even directly on them. There was a censure vote condemning anti-Semitism twice because of what Ilhan Omar said. But the victory here is that yesterday we saw the few Republicans who were holding out on voting to remove Omar. And we wanted to kind of make sure they knew how many Americans were concerned about this issue. So one of those Republicans was Victoria Spartz.
344,121 of you.
And so one of those is Victoria Spartz from Indiana. I think you most know her because she's a Ukrainian immigrant to the United States. So she's been in the media a decent amount since the war in Ukraine, and she's heavily accented. So that's who we're talking about.
Yep.
She was a holdout here, didn't know if she agreed with the procedure, and she has now changed to a vote to remove Omar. So that makes it it's still, I mean, it's slim margins with anything now in the House, but it gives that kind of buffer that Speaker McCarthy needed to say
you couldn't have because when you only got a 4 or 5 point buffer zone, you can't afford to lose people.
And I'm telling you what we're doing is we're using these media reports to target more. So Matt Gaetz, some of you may think of him as like a conservative hero. He now is saying he doesn't know if he wants to vote to remove Ilhan Omar.
I think he's saying that right now he's leaning towards not
And
voting against her.
He's kind of an antagonist to whoever's in charge, but we're making sure he knows.
You're darn right.
Close to 400,000 conservative activists have called for her removal.
It's not an easy process. Cece's going to explain it to you. This is what has to happen for all this to come together to keep these people off this committee.
Yeah, so we're still waiting for the Democrats to submit. They have to formally submit their resolution outlining who they have, their picks for the Foreign Affairs Committee. Once they outline their picks, then there's a whole nother resolution that outlines both parties' picks, and that has to go to a vote. And then once that's voted on, then there'll be a separate resolution to strip Omar from her slot on the Foreign Affairs Committee that will have to go for a vote. But we know that last night the House Rules Committee voted 9-4 to advance that resolution to oust Omar. So we're waiting on basically the Democrats to get their resolution saying who they want on that committee, and then there has to be an official vote on a resolution from both parties of who they want on the committee, and then after that will be the ousting
Our
vote.
position is that she should not be on these committees. Let me be clear. That's the American Center for Law and Justice position, and it's the position of 345,000 of you that are listening and watching us right now.